Let's go to KOBAY first. I think KOBAY is also one of the question asked by Casey. So there you go. Here is KOBAY. So I did post a video somewhere around here. I think that's probably a few weeks ago. So at that time, I analyzed these stocks. I thought that there is probably some kind of the great trading opportunity. So why is that? Why did I post that at that time, at that point of time? So you can see this is the highlighted box or the circle here is where I posted the video. So before that, we definitely can see this is kind of a accumulation range, but look at the volume. It doesn't really have anything unusual, and I would say that if we compare to this sort of the spike of the volume, is just nothing. So this is not a textbook style. This is not a textbook case. So if we just hide this, all I can say is it probably is a very low volume stock until we see some commitment above. Then I think I won't really touch this stock for KOBAY. And subsequently, there is the urgent buying right there. So look at the spike of the volume and look at the results. So we see that there's a bullish momentum bar and with a strong volume right there. So it just pushed price up, and it did not really have a lot of the deep pullback. In fact, look at this sort of the pullback. So this bearish bar comes with this low volume, and this sort of the pullback again is very low volume. Supply is very low. So there is certainly a chance to initiate some form of the trade right here. Anyway, fast forward to this portion here, so this point. So where I posted the video, and we can see that this sort of, if we want to really go into the textbook, so we are already in uptrend. So this is a very clear uptrend. And what we can do, especially to trade this phase E, which is generally the uptrend stock, is to look at how the supply is being absorbed. So again, when we see this type of the big spike of the volume, apart from increase of both demand and supply, one thing that we need to think about is always think from the supply point of view. So whenever there is a spike of the volume, think of it as the supply. Okay, so here's the supply, and in this case, the supply is being absorbed vertically because of the bullish results. And subsequently, look at this reaction. So we have one reaction, comes with very low supply. Subsequently, look at this. The supply has been exhausted. So this is an exhaustion of the supply level, and it's just holding just below this resistance level. So at that point, that is a sort of like a decreasing of the volatility, one of the bullish sign of the bull case. So at that point, I think I sort of initiated a position on either this or this day. So that is one of the possibility where I put my stop somewhere around here. So it's more conservative. If you want, you probably can put it slightly closer. It doesn't really matter. So as long as you have your stop in place, I think that would be good enough. So another way to get into this type of stock, apart from buying during this type of the exhaustion of the supply, you can wait for the breakout. So this is the confirmation. So you can just buy maybe half a position here, and then after you break out, you just get in with another half of the position. So depending how you really want to manage your trade. So this is how I generally approach this. So I can prompt some position here, and it did not really go up. You can see that probably I think waited for about a week right there. But look at this. There's no supply and the price is holding up. So this is a very good sign. So I think I do get in another position that's with the breakout. So if you think that the spread is huge and there's a lot of money there, so 3.5 to almost 4. So one way is to dive into the hourly time frame. So you can use the hourly time frame to get in a better position. So this is the hourly time frame, and if we see this sort of the breakout, then I think it would be good that can probably prompt some position, especially it comes with aggressive volume or some good demand come in, push the price up, and then you probably can place your stop maybe just outside of this up channel. So that is one way to scale your position or to initiate your position. All right, so that's KOBAY, and fast forward now. So you can see that entry price is somewhere around here, 3.5. And if I use, maybe I get this, okay. So somewhere around here. So my stop is probably around here. Okay, here's my stop. And how I actually manage this position is very straightforward and simple. Until I see this overbought, so this is a up channel, I draw up. So just connect the low, and then I draw up this one line, and then I just projected another line here. So this is parallel line, this is the up channel. And definitely this bar hit the channel overbought. So I'm quite attempt to sell, or at least lock in some profit, maybe exit half a position. So, but I think that's because supply is that doesn't really show up, and it's just a sort of like the vertical absorption, and it just closed right at the high. So I just want to wait for a few more days to see how the reaction comes, because most of the time you can see that every time we see a spike of the volume, then probably the next day will come with a reaction. So this is also the case. So there is some form of the reaction, right? In this case, the absorption is very good. So here is a reaction come the next day, and I see that there is quite a lot of the supply, but look at the results, is very shallow. So I just keep holding, and until I saw probably, I think this one, this is definitely exit the overbought. So it really hit the overbought of the channel, and that comes with supply as well. So why did I say supply? So if we just use the effort versus results, so take a look at this two bar, okay, this two bar. So if we compare the spread, certainly this is smaller than the previous candle. However, look at the volume. So the volume is higher. So what does it mean? So what's actually preventing the price from going up? So I think the answer is quite clear, is the supply. So if we have less supply, I think that we should see the price actually go up some more, or at least similar to this spread, this candle here. However, look at the spread here. It's become smaller, although it just seems like a very bullish bar, but still, there is presence of the supply based on the effort versus results. And I just exited right there for half a position, and I keep the other half, because sometimes it can just keep going up for some more, and I probably can scale up maybe next week or the coming week. And also you can see that next day the supply probably is just normal, slightly less than previous. So I wouldn't be very bearish at this point, despite that there is presence of supply at this bar. But still, I already locked in my profit, so I can just let the rest go. So in this case, I think the trade management wise, this is sort of like just to play it on the safe side, because I want to lock in some profit. But at the same time, I don't really want to lose out all this crazy run, because you can tell by this stock that KOBAY is kind of like a very high beta stock. Look at this move. It started from around 2, and within a short period of time, it shoot to 4, and now it's at 5. So this is quite a high beta stock, and yeah, so I just want to enjoy some of the ride. So probably can lock in half of the position. But in terms of entry, I don't really see any entry right there because right now I think it's time to take some profit instead of be aggressive and going in to initiate some more position because see that every time we hit this channel overbought, I think probably can provide some form of the reaction. So right now is certainly an overbought situation. So if it just have a retracement back, even if it just consolidate horizontally, I think that would be a very bullish case. So I also don't really rule out maybe a sudden reversal, like a big bearish bar with the spike of the supply means that there are quite a lot of the profit taking activity. So in this case, then definitely I will just exit all. So it's just sort of like a give and take because I can't really anticipate what's going to come next. So if it just happened with this sort of the bearish bar, then I will just exit or the rest of my position. All right, so that's KOBAY. I think that's a good trade.